Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first SITREP of 2020. If you want to be one of those booger-eating nerds, you can say actually the next decade doesn't, or this decade doesn't end until December 30th of 2020. Yeah, you can be that guy, but most people, new page, new calendar. It's going to be it's going to be very interesting 2020 from Iran to North Korea to China to an election with whatever happened to impeachment. That's awkward, but whatever is going on with that, and a market that just won't quit, folks. The S&P 500, nearly a 30% gain. 30% gain in 2019. We had another epic year, another banner year here at Top Gun Options. I'm just looking forward to 2020. Like I said, a lot of things on the radar, but let's get to it. First of all, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Was it 51 journeys around this sun, and very blessed with health, beautiful family, great members here at Top Gun Options. Just couldn't be more blessed, and very thankful for what I have, and another year on this earth, man. We're all living on borrowed time, so be mindful, be present, and enjoy the day. We had a great brief this morning talking about why the market does not seem to want to die. But speaking of dying, let's go ahead and talk about what happened. This is freaking fantastic. So I briefed you earlier in the week that a U.S. contractor was killed by a rocket attack by Iranian-backed assholes in Iraq, and also wounded 3 American soldiers. The president finally fires back at Iran. He sent F-15E Strike Eagles, pounded the hell out of KH positions, hopefully sent some of them to Allah and the 72. Who wants to be with 72 virgins? And by the way, it doesn't say the sex of those virgins. I can't wait for these dudes to show up, and it's 72 virgin men. Anyway, and then what happened? Well, and here's how awful the liberal mainstream media are. The New York Times, ladies and gentlemen, in their tweet, they tweeted out saying mourners have attacked our embassy in Iraq, in Baghdad. Mourners, ladies and gentlemen, not Iranian-backed militia, not Iranian forces. They called them mourners. Kind of like pieces of shit Barack Hussein Obama, Susan Rice, and Hillary Clinton saying it was a video, right, that attacked Benghazi. Within an hour of this flare-up, 100 Marines landed. 2 Apache gunship helicopters were hovering right there. This ain't no Benghazi, folks. For 13 hours. Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton couldn't be found, did nothing. Under this president, he's loading up the 82nd and 101st Airborne. They're a 24-hour alert. They're on their way there. 4,000 U.S. troops. You want to fuck with our embassy? We're going to kill you. What a difference it is between this president and Barack Hussein Obama. Absolute disgrace. 4 men died because of them, and then they lied about it. I hope they both burn in hell, all of them. Everybody responsible for that. Hey, didn't get a Christmas gift, and I didn't get a New Year's gift or a birthday present gift from Kim. Couple little birdies have told me, and they are very well-placed birdies, have said that this guy throttled back actually because of these attacks that Trump said, here we come. This ain't going to be no Hillary Clinton or Barack response. So just because he didn't light it off doesn't mean he ain't going to light it off, folks. The guy is, I think he's learning from the president. It's all about the PR, and I think he's sitting there with a match in his hand getting ready to light the fuse. This is a potential black swan event that would cause this market to at least pause if he launches when he launches a ballistic missile over Japan. So this ain't done with, folks. It's just delayed. Okay. Now let's get to some other issues, folks. I love the global mouthpiece of China's government, the Global Times. Attack on U.S. embassy reflects the difficulties of U.S. controlling the Middle East. Dude, don't want to control the Middle East. I just want to kill everybody who wants to do us harm. And we are going to turn them into pink mist, hair, teeth, and eyeballs over there before it happens over here. Okay, I'm sick of the president with his, I get that he wants to pull out of the Middle East and leave us alone type of thing. That's not going to happen. The president wants to get us out of these, quote, forever wars. Mr. President, this is a forever war. First of all, let's let them kill each other. That would be the best case scenario, is just let the Shia and Sunni kill each other, and then nobody's left, and we put up a Trump hotel. Since that's not going to happen, we need to do harm to people who want to do us harm before they do it. Period. But I just love reading these headlines on the global Times. China, U.S. to seek balance and boundaries, right? So let's talk about some things. Speaking of China, this is a little odd. Taiwan's top military leader, the chairman of their Joint Chiefs, and his senior officers were killed in a helicopter crash. I think there was 5 survivors. But this dude, the head of the Taiwanese military, this is what you need to be worried about, folks, these type of things. And look at this. The Economic Policy Journal. The Chinese plan to put they plan to put an America worth of Chinese people in Africa and take over the continent. Remember, folks, we don't even know what we're doing for lunch today. The Chinese are in this for 1,000 years type of thing. Okay? I briefed this a year or two ago. I told you China was buying deep water ports in like Sierra Leone, and people are like, oh, it's for trade. I'm like, you're full of shit. It's for aircraft carriers and combatant vessels. It is for trade, but this is what's going to happen. Look into the future. Hell, this huge listening intelligence station down in Argentina that you didn't know about it. Folks, this is what's going on. The Chinese could care less about a trade war. It is about this and taking over not only Asia, but the world. You've heard it here first. Anyway, take a look at what's going on. Great news. Trump sets a date for signing the U.S.-China deal. I thought earlier in the week, Mr. President, you said Vice Premier Leah Hu was coming and it was being signed Saturday. Now it's not. The Phase 1 trade deal is going to be signed January 15th. We got a week and a half to go. I wonder why. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. It's because nobody knows what's in it. Okay, we'll get to that in a couple minutes. But then the president said, said the treaty would be signed in Washington in the presence of high-level representatives from China. So it ain't going to be him. It's going to be his XO, probably Lighthizer or Mnuchin, and Vice Premier Leah Hu. At a later date, I will be going to Beijing, where talks will begin on Phase 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this has gone from Xi Jinping flying to Mar-a-Lago, playing some golf and signing a trade deal here. Remember that like a year and a half ago? To Trump flying to China. Now, call me a cynic, but I think the president's turned into a pretty damn good politician. Why is he flying? He's going to be in Beijing, folks, signing a Phase 2 trade deal or a comprehensive deal when? When Democrats are, running around Iowa or in primary season, right? The stock market's going higher. The economy's doing fantastic. The president's going to be on TV signing in China a massive trade deal. Guess what happens? Ain't no way he doesn't win re-election. Okay? So this is, but, the ink ain't even dry, and there isn't even ink yet, right? The text has not been shared publicly, but earlier this month, the two sides said China had promised increased purchases of ag products. Guess what, folks? I do this for a living. I cannot find a number. Or actually, I can. I can find about 8 different numbers, and they all vary between what the China and we are saying that they're going to buy. So this is going to be interesting, folks. So here's, the fine print, they always save towards the end. However, the U.S. has left some of its biggest issues, such as China's subsidies for certain firms, for further discussions. This is one of the biggest issues, folks, and it ain't even in there. So very, 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 very interesting. But Peter Navarro, hey, man, great stuff is in the Phase 1 deal. What's in it? I don't know, but it's great stuff. And Peter Navarro is now a hedge fund manager because now he's giving a price target on the Dow. The Dow soaring up to 32,000. That's what's pretty funny. So, again, I wouldn't get too far over my ski tips. I'm not even going to believe the trade deal is worth the paper it's written on when it's signed. The Chinese are not going to stop stealing intellectual property from the United States. They're not going to stop subsidizing their companies. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. So, anyway, Now let's talk about why we're getting a pop here. The PBOC did what? Injected fresh liquidity into their banking system, folks. Since we've been in this trade war, the Chinese, the PBOC, has been injecting liquidity into their banking system. They've been doing it on the down low. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Like our Fed. We've been doing QE4, folks. They just refuse to call it QE4. So it is shocking to me that the PBOC actually came out and said they're doing this. Well, one of the reasons they're doing this is look at what happened Monday night. Manufacturing PMI, a little bit of a beat, and non-manufacturing PMI imploded. First of all, let's begin with this. Both of these numbers are an outright lie. If they're saying it's bad, it's actually horrible. Okay? And then we got on Wednesday night, last night, the manufacturing index was a miss. We got horrific macroeconomic data out of China, folks. Here comes the PBOC. The invisible, or in this case, not invisible hand of the PBOC propping up their market. So, long road to a very short house. I am in a bear call spread on FXI that is underwater right now, but I'm hanging in it, and we actually sold. We did our weekly debrief today. I sold into today's pop. I sold another bear call spread that expires tomorrow, and one out the next Friday. Why? This is a gap move. It's a surprise move on the PBOC injecting capital. The news is already out, folks, right? FXI gapped at the open today on the good. Well, I'm not going to say good news, on the news that the PBOC injected capital. That ends, right? That's a big huff of hopium, and then that ends, right? So we got a big kind of pop out of the S&P 500, but we're off the highs of the session. I am absolutely 1,000% sticking with a mid-January sell-off. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Since this October, the mid-October, folks, the market is up 14%. Hell, under Barack Hussein Obama's reign, he would have given his kingdom for an S&P 500 return of 14% in a year, let alone 2 months, 2.5 months. January 15th is the signing date for this phase one, and also earnings. Folks, our PE right now, the price to earnings ratio of the S&P 500 is like 20-ish. It is insanely overpriced. Earnings would have to absolutely be historically phenomenal to the upside to support where we are in this market. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Mid-January, I think we sell off, and February's going to be a shit show. February and October are the two most volatile months in the market during the year. So hang on to your hats, folks. You can enjoy this FOMO, this fear of missing out rally, a little bit more, and then it's going to head back here. Okay, I want to be wrong. I don't want markets to go down, but as an options trader, I can make money whether the market's going up, down, or sideways. But this thing, historically, when you see a monster run like this into a new year, mid-January to February, it gives it back, period. This could be the exception to the rule. I get it. I don't think it's going to be. So make sure you're hedged, folks. Make sure you are getting long volatility, and you are also buying some puts on the S&P 500. With this type of rip-your-face-off rally today, you would think the VIX would be imploding. It's not. It's down, but it's not necessarily imploding. I would be using this opportunity to get long VIX in case you haven't. All right, folks, I got to get going. Got a coaching call here in a couple minutes. We're done for the week. Happy New Year. Thanks for all the birthday wishes, and have a great weekend. I will see you all for Monday's Market Outlook next week. God bless. We'll see you.